we have an arena game going here. We are playing against Dorg. That's a familiar one. I believe that I'm familiar with this player as well. And Arenix, who I've played several times before. It's a good mix. Looking at the game, it looks like a fairly coin-rich game pass-wise. Economically, seems pretty decent. Good expansion with the temp ship tile. The round one, the pass tiles are pretty bad. There's no big building pass tile. Worker power and the spade are going to be big, and if one of the factions utilizes temp ship, that'll be good for them. These other tiles are fairly mediocre for round one. Swarmlings are put into the first seat. Don't love this game for Swarmlings, so stacked TP events aren't super high scoring. The round 2 town is very good. My plan for Swarmlings would be to take a high power tile, I think, and just try to get double dig in round 1, open with double dig in a temple. Maybe even skip the temple, just really prioritize this town, and see how it goes from there. With Swarmlings in the game, I do think that late TPs are good for, like, engineers. So let's just do that. See how this goes. Okay, we got cultists put in the third seat. That's miserable. Hate to see that. It's not an incredible cultist game. I say that because this tile is pretty good for them, but when I look at the rewards, none of them are stacked. Round 1, this is like one of the worst. This is the worst cult reward round 1 for cultists. You get no benefit from it. This round 2 spades should be good, and round 2 spades leading into round 3 dwellings is good. This event is a non-event. These events are good. So, like, the snowball effect is a little lower for cultists here. If you can get your economy going without, like, tons of cult rewards, then you're in good shape. But, like, the fact that round 1 you don't get a good cult reward is a bit of a bummer. You might just temple Earth 1, Earth 2, hope that it's a coin-rich enough game, and then build some dwellings, like start shipping late. Actually, it's probably still Fire 1 for cultists this game, not Earth 2. The ship tile being in the game, plus no incentive to build early TPs. But yeah, like it's gonna be interesting because Swarmlings have a very good chance of like cutting you off pretty hard, unless you start on F7. Swarmlings could dig G5 with their first action. And in fact, that's probably what I would do. I would probably just take I would probably take this tile and then single dig G5 with my first action if I were Swarmlings here. We'll see what goes down. It's nomads, which is even tougher on cultists. So I actually think I like Swarmlings and engineers best here. Probably cultists like third or something, and then nomads is the 40. Nomads as the 40 is even worse because Swarmlings, if I'm playing Swarmlings, they're not going to be on D2. So we'll see how this goes down. Engineers, they don't love temp ship, and the fact that they don't love temp ship is actually kind of a bummer. I think that I would probably take one of the coins tiles as entries and try to double temple here. Dorg kind of agrees. Let's do this. I don't think it can be that bad. A lot of action on entries early. Let's tip our hand by bidding Swarmlings. I think that Swarmlings are just not going to be bad here. Like, they're just not going to be bad here. Uh, yeah, I don't think that swarmlings are this much worse than entries. They should get the 2-key town. Nomads could. Nomads could get the 2-key town. Um, like, the Nomads game plan would be disregard the temple and go for a stronghold. Then you're going to get this. But priest production is just so good. The stronghold is useful to fight against cultists because you do want, like, a lot of, like, your territory is very valuable here. But let's see. Starting hexes, cultists should get very good leech by being the center here. Engineers should get decent leech by being next to cultists. Swarmlings can get no leech, but no one really cares. Nomads might only get leech from cultists, which is actually pretty bad. Round 3 ship is nice for cultists, if they can get their shipping up early. People really like engineers here, more than I do. But I actually do think that cultists, like, being treated as not very good is correct. The one thing that's good about engineers that I'm just thinking of now is that well, I guess actually everyone except cultists, right? Nomads, engineers, and swarmlings all like TPs, and the TP round is late, so you don't really want to build TPs. It's not that synergistic with early stuff, but the TP event, like the TP pass tile, is going to be coveted by these 3 guys, especially swarmlings. I think especially swarmlings. Engineers might also kind of want it. Engineers could actually go for a round 2 town. If their first action is like just dig, and then next round they highly prioritize getting a spade onto D7, they could make that happen as well. Like a round 2 town, that would be pretty solid. People are going for nomads, which, I mean, nomads they're not bad here. I think that the round 4 sanctuary stronghold event they can make that work for them. The round 3 dwellings, they can definitely make, like, if nomads go for like double temple or something, then they can definitely get shipping up in this round to ship around. Nomads are a pretty good double temple faction if they wind up getting the 2 workers. I'm not sure if they will get 2 workers. Got a feeling that I'm going to be fighting to be playing swarmlings here. Joins the stream, sees swarmlings, leaves the stream. That's the spirit. I was watching a game earlier, Super. I dipped out just before people started passing. I thought that you, swarmlings, and engineers were all very close. How did that turn out? Yeah, I mean, I'm not responsible for putting swarmlings into this game, to be clear. This was our friend Dorg who put in swarmlings. He's in the first seat here. I put in NGs, but I didn't want him to pay this much for that. Wow, close game. Close game. Congratulations. Well done. There's always a bit of luck involved in terms of the final rounds, like ending in first. I was thinking that you could have. I think that engineers beat you in network, but you could have tied them in network by dropping your landscape on that 1 hex, right? Like, they had 1 gray hex hanging right after you built your strongholds. I thought that you could have taken that away and dropped your landscape there, but I wasn't paying like super close attention. But cool, nice win. Oh, they still right. They still had A2, but I was thinking that swarmlings might hit that hex. But I guess they had better stuff to do just by building their own stuff. Because they had shipping and advanced digging. Over here, I don't know what's going on over here. Dorg is thinking. Well, what am I doing as engineers? I think I'm either prioritizing spades or double templing. I think that the more reliable thing to do is double temple. I think that swarmlings want to dig with their first action. Let's see, where's my second dwelling go? I think my second dwelling goes on H4. I'll get to see where cultists are placed, and like I'm clearly placing G6 first. And then I get to see where the second thing goes. I can go on H2, I can go on H4. What I won't do is I will not place D2. I don't want to help nomads out. It's always like, I guess one bad thing that could happen with H4 is nomads could place I7. That might be an issue. So we need to be a little careful here. Bustrader is pointing out that cultists at this price is very rare. I do agree with that. I think Dorg is reliably like in the high 400s, mid 500s range, or like even high, like through the 500s generally is where Dorg is normally at. Elo wise, okay, so cultists take pressure off me by placing up top. That makes lots of sense. I'm considering being a jerk and placing A11. That could cut cultist connection, but I'm not convinced that it helps me that much. I think I can place H4 pretty safely here. Engineers might go temp ship and take G3 away from me. That's, I guess, the big fear. I guess it's pretty bad if it goes like, yeah, I'll just place H2. I think this should be fine. Maybe I can place D2. This is one of the weaker players in the game, so placing D2 might be okay. But if they start with a spade and then single dig D2, then they can put a lot of pressure on me that I don't want. So I think that I'll just place H2. One of the worst cases here is that I don't get I4 and I just like make a 3 hex town like here or something, and I can live with that. Basically, H4 can invite some issues. I think nomads placing H1 is bad. I think that they should be placing E8 or even B4 to cut off cultists. Poor nomads. Yeah, I mean, that's like, this is partially like knowing your opponent, right? Like, I am never going to give nomads this neighbor on D2 if I can help it. Noted, yeah. That is, by the way, that's only true for streaming. Maybe if it's a non-stream game, then I'll play in a different manner. Nomads do take the spade. Seems good. I guess one consideration for placing here is like, I do think that nomads are one of the weaker players at the table. These two players, I believe, are stronger. Yeah, this is a strong player. This is a strong player. Arenix is a bit weaker of a player, so maybe I could have influenced the network race by coming up here. By giving nomads some bleach, it's possible that I could have influenced network and hurt cultists and engineers, because obviously I'm not likely to compete on network as swarmlings. Just a thought. Engis do take coins. They're going to go for double temple. So if engineers upgrade with their first actions, I expect them to, then cultists can take the double spade. I don't want that to happen because I want to win the race to the 2-key town. So unfortunately, it looks like I'm saying no to temple. Like taking this and like single spading could get me a temple, but it would lose me the town in round 2. I think it's more important to get the town. This is actually also a little bit annoying of cultists to do this because it restricts my mega town capability here. Getting E11 is a little better, but good for Dorg. Good job, Dorg. the action is happening over here, so that's cool. Cultists probably will upgrade here as well. It's better leech for them. That said, actually, yeah, it is slightly better leech over here in the east. It's the same number of neighbors. That said, like, nomads have to upgrade here. So, okay, cultists take a dig. Okay, that makes sense. Cultists are in decent position to win, to get a get a town in round 2 as well. So that's unfortunate. I think that I would probably take the ship town if the 2-key town is gone for cultists. They would like to be able to place this spade somewhere useful. Cultists are going for Earth 1 here. I have to assume that that's the reason why they slow play this and didn't just build E10, because that would have been better leech for them. So they're trying to greed out 2 points. I don't really see much of a reason for them to be stalling too hard, but maybe there is one that I'm just not seeing. I'm going to be earning 6 power income this round. 6 power income. If I get 2 more power from engineers, that'll be 8 more power. If I pass on this power tile, I should get enough for a single spade, and that's what I need. Engineers take the priest, which I like. The priest will go to Earth, then their temple for Earth 1 and Earth 2 gets them another spade. I actually think that going for this tile instead of the 6 points tile might have been a decent move for them. Cultists upgrade in the center, that makes sense. They recognize me as an enemy. I think that makes a lot of sense to upgrade in the center. Actually, the center might get better leech, because if NGs are going double temple, then they are upgrading here. Though it doesn't look like they're going double temple anymore, right? Oh, they can still go double temple. They start with already enough workers. They don't need to buy workers, which is one of the best things about engineers and double temple. Oh, baby. Nomads have temples. They have a dwelling to build. Is there a chance that I can get onto their spade? I should have first dibs on passing. Cultists clearly want to temple and build dwellings. By the way, this does indicate that cultists are not going to get a round 2 town, right? So that's nice as well. Maybe cultists think that they can double temple. They are going to get a pretty wonderful leech here. Yeah, they might double temple here. I was thinking that that was probably the opening that they wanted to go for anyway. It was only after they placed F7 that I got ideas that, hey, maybe they're capable of going for the round 2 town. But just going for a double temple opening is fine as well. Nomads just grab a hex. Nomads might pass, so I'm going to build this thing before I build that dwelling. If nomads take a power action, then I'll build the dwelling. And if they don't take a power action, then I'm in good position for passing. I'm going to get 9 more power from here, so I'll have 4 power in my bowl up here when I pass, so I don't need to take the crappy temp ship. I should be able to pass on to this guy, which is really good, because then my cult bump can go on Earth, and then I can get a cult spade, and I can turn H3 to black. So, sorry, this is all discussing getting the 2-key town. That would bump me up from step 1 on Earth to step 3 on Earth, and then I can use this cult bump to get myself up to step 4 on Earth. That's assuming that nomads don't just pass here. Because I guess if I get their spade, then their spade is probably preferable to this, because at least that denies other players. Engineers are still sitting on their priest. Cultists look like it looks like this is a decision to build dwellings instead of oh wow. Okay, cultists can now take the workers and double temple. Two temples and a dwelling with an extra hex free is ridiculous. Um, how greedy can I get here? Can I get greedy enough to go for the like nomads are opening double spade, right? They're gonna take E3. Um, wait, where's their third dwelling's up here? This is bad. That's not good. Um, like they could have just taken B2 to get there, but whatever. Um, this is just one worker, right? Like, does one worker really help me out that much? But at the same time, like, are cultists really going to pass? Doesn't look like they should. They're not going to get like a double spade or anything, so I'm gonna play this and see what happens. Because I'm actually okay with the cult coins as well, right? Like as we said, this guy gets me like an extra spade as well. Um, I guess the bad thing that could happen is cultist pass, then nomads single spade, cultist double spade, or nomads double spade, cultist single spade, and cultist take this guy. I guess that's the downside that we're looking at here. By the way, is Earth One gone? Earth One is gone. Okay, it's fine. Okay. Wow, engineers should take the coins here. If they get let cultists get the coins action, cultists will run away with the game. I think that the right move here is to take the spade, because then I can open with the coins action. What do I want next round? I want temple and dwelling, right? I think the right move is to leave the coins action available and take. Well, I don't want anyone else to get the spade, right? The spade is just so useful early. People will get cult spades. Let them expand in round 3. Like I would like this cult spade, but why is getting a cult spade so much better than just getting this? Like it's a cult spade plus 3 points, but yeah. The cult spade is less valuable. I think I might want to just pass early next round and try to get double dig. There's an argument that I put the TP in the wrong spot, that I should have put the TP on H2, because this does look like a natural sanctuary town here, 3 hexes here. Now it looks like I want my sanctuary over here. Wow, yeah, engineers just gave cultists this coins action. I think cultists are going to win this game. This looks very, very good for cultists. Like, incredibly good for cultists. Um, I think that this priest to earth was very misguided from engineers. But oh well. I guess one of the benefits of placing D2 would be that nomads would have upgraded D3 instead. And then this would have been my sanctuary town, and this would have been my stronghold town. I would have gotten leech, and then maybe I could have opened with a temple as well. Maybe that was the play. Maybe it was supposed to be D2, and I was supposed to just place my stronghold here. And then double spade these two hexes instead of fighting over the east. I probably should have adjusted my play a little bit more once cultists kind of bailed me out by placing f7. Maybe I was supposed to play d2 instead. Cultists get less leech. They maybe can just afford earth 2 at this point because they're like this coins tile is open. I would probably go for fire 1 because they did manage to get down a dwelling. The issue with like double temple with fire 1, earth 1 is that you don't have worker production. You only have 1 worker heading into next round, but they have 2 workers heading into next round, which is very nice. Wow, I hate this conversion. Just you have so many coins already. Just decline the leech, like leave yourself full and then decline the leech. I hate this because cultists are also coming after your cult. It's just it's very bad. I think, in my opinion, what engineers did here. Taking every cultist leech is just not very good. Maybe I should have just placed A11. Been spicy like I thought. Like that would have made cultist connection a lot more tenuous. That said, I mean, yeah, I mean, nomads are supposed to make cultist connection more tenuous, right? But they're not doing it. Dorg does take fire 1. I think that is the right call here. Dorg will just build D8 next round and then have 2 cult spades coming on, probably like E5 and G7 next round. Wow, it's the coins instead of the double spade. Okay. Fine then. I wanted to take the coins. I thought that like I was going to get the coins, which is part of the reason I didn't take this. But that's interesting. A priest would get me a spade in the future because I can send the priest to Earth. That said, I think people are going to be sending priests with their next actions. So what I want to do. Okay, nomads will go multiple shipping here, I guess. I suppose. I don't know. I'll get 4 power from here. I need 9 coins this round, so I want 3 power in this bowl. So I think that the right thing to do is just to grab the 2 key town now, and then figure out the rest later. I'm going to give engineers a leech. I know that engineers convert leech very efficiently, but I'm not sure like what they're up to, so we'll just give Engie some leech here. We can take 4 power right now. So now the question is, do I make a 4 hex town here, which is slightly less efficient, or should I go over all the stuff in here. That's not obvious to me. Like, so I guess to be clear, what I'm wondering is, should I be making a temple here, or should I be making a temple here? Um, both, there's clear arguments for both. Temple here ensures me water 1, which is good for this event. And I think I mean, basically, like, the question is it air 1 or water 1? Water 1 would be like throwing away 3 points, right? Air 1 would only throw away 1 point, but like this is kind of nice to get an extra priest because I'm behind on priests, and I kind of want to delay my second one till here. So I think I TP here, and then I think the extra priest is worth it to take water 1 and be a little less. I think I want my sanctuary here. So I'm going to go for, we'll see if it's water 1 or air 1. All right. My next move is to temple. And then hopefully I can pass and get onto the double spade. I would like to get the TP tile and the double spade next round. So those are my dreams. We will temple for water 1. The extra priest, I feel, is worth the 2 points that I'm losing. If I take air 1 now, I lose 2 points because, if I take water 1 now, I lose 2 points, but I gain a priest. I think that the priest is probably worth it. And the other thing is that I could face a water 1 rush in round 4, and I don't want that. There's not going to be an air 1 rush. Okay, this is cool from nomads. This is cool. They're going to make cultist connection very difficult, and they should be beating cultists on network with this type of play, which I approve of. We are going to take water 1. The priest, like we said, I think that the priest is just pretty valuable. And then I kind of suspect that cultists will pass and take the tile that I want. Engineers managed to get enough leech to take the workers action. That's really good. However, they did send a priest off. Oh, okay, that's fine. They can, they don't need to advance their shipping. So engineers are in a very good spot as well. They will clearly be in position to sanctuary water 1 here. Anyway, this does look like it was a mistake by me. I believe that this was supposed to be, the TP was supposed to go on H2, and I was supposed to temple water 1 with my first action here, and then get the TP up to complete the town, because I had tempo. I just, without thinking, did this, so this cost me 3 points. If the margin of error at the end of this game is like 3 points or so, then we can definitely look back on that as a mistake. Cultists do pass. I don't think that they're going to get enough leech to take a double spade, which is good. I think that they're going to be... I'm definitely taking this guy, right? Yeah, the extra power can't be worth it compared to the coin plus the 4 points. Plus it makes that tile worse for other players. This just has to be right. I'm overflowing power by 1. That's because nomads are built that hex. I have no issues with that. What we want is that sweet, sweet double spade. Cultists probably open next round with a priest of fire. If not, then maybe I open priest of fire. I don't think anyone looks like they have the leech to double spade. I'm certainly not planning on giving that leech to anyone. Cultists also might want to go to 3 shipping. They have no shipping now, so it's likely that G7 is what's going to get spaded here. Oh, they only have 1 spade. So I could mess with cultists by... No, that can't be right. I think that messing with G7 is not worth my time here. Engineers will want, they got a spade, they have lots of spades, so that's good for them. They only need one shipping to make some good stuff happen, so that's also good for them. Now I'm tempted to get the coins, but I do think that priest to fire or air is probably better. And then I can build 2 dwellings, like with the exact right number of resources. Because basically I don't want to convert, I don't want to burn power. Okay, Dorgan starts with advancing shipping. We're gonna hang the double spade. There's no chance really that anyone takes that away from us. I'll just do this. Feels pretty good. So let's count the hexes we'll need. So if we put 2 TPs here, then we can only put 3 more TPs over here. Well, okay, 2 TPs here. That means that 2 TPs will go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I'll need 3 more hexes over here in the west, or in the east rather. That means 5 more digs. I think this priest to fire is a good investment in terms of all the workers that I'll need. Oh shit. Oh, this was a mistake. I hung this. That was clearly a mistake. Well, now I'm going to need a single spade. Well, yeah, that down conversion. I was just talking about how down converting is not always good, and this is a case where it shows up. I'm going to blow 3 workers by taking a single spade here. Dorg, I think, probably should just grab the coins. Doesn't matter if you burn now. You're going to get spades later. You have hexes to build on. Just go to 3 ship and build B2, A7, and then you have 3 dwellings. Yeah. Well, whatever. Yeah, I colossally messed that up when I was just talking about not doing that. A lot of small mistakes this game. I think next round I'm going to send some priests off to the air cult. I think engineers might try to send priests to air here. Okay, so now Dorg is going to happily get the coins power action. Oh wait, nomads can get the coins power action. That's what I think. They should take the leech and then take the coins. Hopefully they do that. Nomads are actually having a very nice game. But no, nomads are going to go for a temple and give the coins to cultists. Why would you do this? Why would you not take the coins there? You definitely don't need the power for spades because they have so many workers. Like they have so much worker production and so many dwellings on the board. Cultists should definitely take the coins now. I suppose the other thing that we can do is we can skip, we can just wait to make this town until we have fire 1, or until we're taking fire 2, and just not worry about making this town too early. And basically we can put our TP upgrades over here in the east until we temple for fire 2 late in the game. Then I would need 1 fewer hex, which is 2 fewer spades. And that like 2 fewer spades is a big deal. Yeah, I really botched that. I threw away 3 workers for the sake of 1 coin, or like 2 coins. It was very, very bad, the way that I down converted that. Yeah, I don't really know what nomads are up to here. That was kind of a frustrating non-take. Oh, they're getting ready to stronghold next round so they can make this town. I guess that's fine. You are allowed to do that. No, they're advancing ship. It's not very coherent. This ship advance doesn't get them another dwelling, so it's like particularly kind of pointless in my opinion. NGs can now build C5, C2. They have a spade in hand still that they can't really use. I guess they can wait for more leech to try to get workers action. I don't think that they're going to want to burn down their power right now, but it's honestly not a terrible idea to burn down their power. This workers action could let them build 2 more dwellings, which is really, really good during this dwelling round. And then they just won't need double spades anymore. They only need 2 towns as engineers. So I really like this engineers game. Cultists are also just like exploding in points. I'll probably be able to win 2 of these cults, either water or air, alongside fire. What is going on here? They built C2 and then they just didn't decline conversions for a long time. Ooh, okay, I do like this. Well done. I didn't see that coming. And they did 2 workers to 2 coins for that, but that's hilariously savage and don't know if it did anyone too much good, but yeah, that's pretty funny. Okay. It's time to pass. We're going to decline the cultist leech on this hex. Don't care. We're going to take the big coins tile. We're going to open the coins action. Take the coins out of the game. We'll want those coins eventually because we're going to be advancing our spades. I think that our priests this round go to air and or water plus fire. Nomads kind of killed their economy to do whatever they did here. I really think that they should have taken the coins away from cultists. It's still like cultists getting their connection cut is kind of a bummer, but they're still going to get second in network. They're still going to beat me in network. I don't think I'm connecting here. Nomads probably get H4 with their cult spades or whatever, plus cultists can still connect on D5. They could get B3, D5, F5, B5. They might be more interested in getting a second town, but it's not clear that they won't be able to do that. We declined cultist leech, as we said. I think there's time for a bathroom break. All right, looks like we didn't miss too much here. Dorg is going to be at 72 points. That's a problem. And Dorg is probably going to land on the TP tile as well for points. I wonder if we can get a really fast round. Like, I wonder what the odds are of us landing on a points pass tile our next round. Perhaps the ideal is that both of them get taken up. Okay, Dorg does need coins, or chooses to go for coins. So one pass tile is going to be open. I think that taking a coins power action is very, very good here. Though maybe my strongest opponents don't need it. Like, I guess nomads want it, so I should take the coins action. But I would love to get onto some passing points as well. I don't know if I can have that faster round, because I think that my dream round is coins, priest to air or something, sanctuary for air 1, and TP. I just have a lot of obligations this round, so maybe I won't think too hard about the passing. There's always a chance that I pass like after engineers. If I can outlast engineers, then I'll get their pass tile, which is nice. The spade is not too bad as well. Engineers chose not to burn down their power. It looks like they might have gotten a little bit of a leech, which enabled them to do this. Yeah, nomads are going to make sure that I can't connect. They should probably take H4 and bridge this round. They're very short on coins, but they're good on points, which is good for them. Good for them. And they're at 2 ships, so if they land on this pass tile, they can get a lot of points as well. Our game looks a little shaky. Not gonna lie. Not interested. Okay, so cultists placed this priest, so that lowers my obligations to place priests this round. Like, I do love this pass tile, so that is what I want. So if I can get a... Yeah. If I get this off and no one passes, then I'm probably just passing for this. The water 1 rush is on. Actually, Arenas is out of the water 1 race, so cultists are going to just effortlessly get water 1. God, this is so frustrating. It's so frustrating that cultists are getting everything. No, I mean, they got A7 cut off, I guess. That's like the one good thing. I am tempted to just take a cult town here. I know I was talking about saving this like as a fire 2 town, but I'm pretty tempted to take a cult town and just like make sure that cultists don't, that like I get one of the cult towns. But cultists are also looking at a 1 town game so far, and I think that I can probably just close the other cult on them fast enough. But like, it's annoying if they send 2 priests to fire, for example, which they very well could do. I'm torn. I am torn. So it might be hard to beat them on both water and air if they use their only key on fire. The priest to fire seems like a pretty good investment to me. It wastes a power. I guess nomads will take a coin town here. So that'll help some of their issues, but it won't help them with getting the uh, it won't help them with getting water one. NG's, this probably should just be a ship town. This could be a coin town. But like, it's a lot of points for it to be a ship town. Okay, it is a coin town. They'll advance their ship probably though, manually. Alright, I think I'm deciding to just to do my upgrade over here. I can always grab my town next round. It's not like I need the workers imminently or anything. So again, if this is 9 here, then I would need 3 more hexes. Yeah, I would much rather only need 2 more hexes this game. There goes the other coin town. It does look like cultists will have the longest round, so they're probably likely to get on engineer's ship tile here. Yeah, cultists are winning this game by like a million. Painful. Yeah, they are going to crowd my cult. I really think that there's nothing better that I can do than, yeah, there's nothing that I can do that's more productive than just taking this. Like, I can get the extra worker and positioning. Actually, maybe this is important. I think that this is pretty important. I do think that NGs are likely to try to build at least one of these 2 dwellings. Nomads, I don't know, but they just got some coins, and they probably would rather pass on to my coins than anything else here. So I hope that they give me that grace. They do. Okay, they put the last priest to fire. That's good. That's good. Cultists could do like sanctuary fire too, and then like take a cult town and close the fire track, but that would really slow them down in terms of like other areas. So like on the water and air tracks. So I think this is okay. I should still be able to get onto the workers pass tile, or the 1 worker points for TP pass tile, so it's good. Just wondering how long this game has been going, I think. I guess I can just look at the stream length, which is at an hour. It's a little longer than I would want, but I guess I shouldn't be complaining too much. Certainly, cultists want a sanctuary fire water 1 this round. I don't think that that's a question. It's my turn in a turn-based game. That's a Madness League fan faction game, so that might be worth looking into in a second. Engineers have already surpassed my point total, which is great for them. And they're going to be able to build probably 5 TPs in these rounds, which would be 30 points worth. I'm only going to be building 2 TPs during these rounds, which is only 12 points worth. They're going to beat me on network. They're going to be probably first in network, and they have a big points lead already. So, wow. Okay. Cultists are strongly prioritizing making 2 towns this game. So, okay. And I guess they kind of have to, right? They really want, yeah. It does make sense that they want to do that. This kind of makes me want to advance ship and threaten E4 for cultists, which would force them to do something awkward like double spade this instead of using their cult spades on it. But oh wait, NGs took this. Wow, that sucks. That sucks for me. I really expect them to build some hexes. They could have built some economy, which would have been good for them. But I guess this is also fine. Anyway, this is a lot of points as well. This gives me a reasonable shot at passing onto the engineer's pass tile next round, which is good. That's what I want to do. That does mean that I'm going to be, yeah, this round I probably buy a priest. I take a long round this round. I buy a priest. I send priests to air to try to get 2 cult spades if I can. And then I advance lots of ship, and then I put up the TP in G5. Last round I advanced dig, or then I turn this guy to blue and this guy to black or something like that. And we'll just go from there. Cultists are fighting to connect. Makes sense. They think that they can get points on connection. I doubt that they'll do much better than nomads or engineers here, but we really just haven't gotten many points. Let's come down to that. We didn't get any points from building a temple in round 1. That was a bummer. We got 5 points from this. We got 2 points here. We also really botched this. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We got 14 points off the track. Our cultists have gone down here already. So they're going to get these 2 hexes as well. Okay, I mean, cultists have a lot of hexes to build on. It will be up to nomads to try to control their network a little bit, but I don't know that nomads have that in them. Coins go, that's expected. There's no pressure on double spading, even though, well, taking H6 could be pretty good. Taking H6 might not be a bad idea. Cultists probably close the fire track on me this round if I let them. Maybe I should just Sanctuary Fire too. Yeah. I think Sanctuary Fire 2, take a Cult Town makes sense here. Or take a Priest Town even. Yeah, Priest Town seems good, right? Or should it just be the Cult Town, and I just blow the extra steps? I think taking the extra steps is fine. Yeah, let's do that. Let's Temple Fire 2 here. And then we'll just take a Cult Town. We'll waste 1 step, but like the step on Earth is not meaningless either. And so we'll gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 power. Oh wait, no, I'm on the TP tile. I'm not Templing Fire 2 this round. Let's put that thought out of mind. That was silly. Alright, so let's send a priest to air. Unfortunately, I think, overestimated swarmlings this game. Cultists do not have advanced digs, so I'm going to force an awkward decision on them when I advance my shipping here and get E4 from them. They'll have to do a hard dig on double hard dig on E4, which they really don't want to do. I guess losing the fire cult is really bad because I did want fire too. Like that's probably the mistake that I made here. I probably was supposed to close fire with fire too. I'm making some like basic slip ups here. It does look like I've already lost. I think cultists and engineers both have a lot more than me. Like engineers taking all this bleach from cultists is not good for them, but that is what they're trying to do. They're actually paying like quite a bit in terms of victory points just to get that leech, which they don't really need. They're gonna like they might buy the double spade here, but it's like, dude, you are you should be shipping. You should not be trying to double spade here. But whatever. A little frustrated. Yeah, I think that I was supposed to Temple Fire too. Just ignore the fact that I'm on the TP tile this round. Close it out. But whatever. I have lots of regrets about this game. Engineers do take double spade. That's fine. Their double spade actually saves them this H6 hex, which I would have otherwise gone for. Oh, okay. Well, nomads take E4 away from cultists, so that's nice. So they won't get a second town. So I am going to be able to close these as long as I can summon the priests for them. So if I can get priest towns, then that should be pretty good for me. Nomads probably get a priest town here. Yeah, I'm not on the TP tile. Oh my god, you are completely right, Ghostly. Yeah, obviously I'm playing like a complete mess, right? Like, I'm rusty. I haven't played a real time game in like 2 weeks. That's my excuse. It's also just frustrating to watch my opponents do so well, you know. Cultists go digging. That makes a lot of sense. Like they have lots of resources now, not a ton of like they can make TPs and stuff, but they don't have anywhere to go really. So, who am I waiting on? I'm waiting on engineers. Engineers have no leech. I could try to take the priest. The priest actually helps me to get better shipping options. So this is probably the move. Engineers have like no reason to pass here, so we take this. We'll make a TP on G5, and then we'll start advancing our ship one more time. Nomads are really trying to hurt cultists this game. Nomads are supposed to try to hurt cultists, but it's not working out for them. Honestly, what really didn't work out for nomads was that I didn't start D2, right? Yeah, I mean cultists are going to connect. They only need B3, D5, and one of these two hexes here. No one's taking D5. And yeah, I mean, if cultists take A8 away from nomads, then it really will not have worked out for them very well, but whatever. Okay, entries continue to do their thing. It looks like I'll have a lot of time this round to do whatever I want. In fact, I might not be able to outlast engineers, right? There's a very good chance I can't actually outlast engineers here. Yeah, I will need Fire 2 this game. Okay. Yeah, so I really, really botched it by not taking Temple Fire 2 there. That really had to happen. Nomads get themselves another town. The coin towns are gone, so maybe this is an 8-pointer. Yeah, I mean, 8-pointer or not, like, I was really supposed to just take that town. Oh, wait, hold on. I guess I can still Temple Fire 2 for a town, right? Like, it won't be good anymore, but, like, I won't be able to close Fire Cult anymore, but I can still Temple 2 for a town. Temple for a town here, which I need to do. Actually, the best thing that Nomads could do would be to Sandblast this hex next round, right? That would be excellent for me. I think I will take 2-for-1s in that case, because it could wind up that my power is in, like, different spots than I thought it would be. So I do think I'm taking a priest town here. Yeah, fill up the priest track. Well, we'll advance our ship first. And some people are just crazy about taking cultist leech. Like, it's whatever. It makes it harder for me, for sure, that it's going down this way, but whatever. Okay, 1 domino falls. That's nice. Yeah, I'm not outlasting engineers here, am I? That pass by engineers last round was very good. I think that I greeted out in one action that I didn't have to. I think I sent a priest to fire or something last round that I didn't have to, and I could have just taken this TP tile last round. I mean, I guess I wound up on a points pass tile anyway, right? That's one of the things that's happening here, but I'm just not, I don't love this. It's probably a workers town, right? It's a priest town. That's also very good. Next round, yeah, there's no one else is taking towns next round, so I should just be able to get the 11-pointer. I think my next round involves making temples and TPs. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to advance, if I'm going to have the stuff to advance my digs. In which case this spade might not be terrible. Engineers go for air 1, so engineers have 3 actions left, right? They can go probably TP dwelling or TP priest to air or something. If I turn this to green and then build my dwelling here with my next act, and then turn it to blue and then build a dwelling, that should outlast them, right? They have 3 actions. This would leave me at turn to green, turn to blue. Maybe then I buy the workers after that and see if they've passed out. So it's 1. They shouldn't care that much, right? But this is very, very important to me. God, I'm so mad at myself about that fire too. That was really, really bad. Oh, I'll take that. I believe I said that I was taking leeches. I mean, engineers can't be that sad here. Alright, so next round I'm thinking I could go, like, priest to water, temple water 2, bump. I would use all my priests trying to close out these cults if they go badly. I could also just go for like an air 3 temple and that's it. And then like a priest onto the water track. And then I don't know, I have like so few resources, right? I have really few resources. Yep, engineers do that. So they have a TP left to do this game. We'll grab this. I imagine that this TP is happening next. This is probably better than worker to coin. Man, what a disastrous game. I don't think I need any more double spades. I don't think I need to get them. I guess I'll just down convert a little bit. I could use the extra resources as I'm trying to make an array of towns and dwellings or whatever. Pass on to this. We'll just down convert. Okay. We'll just try this to blue. Nomads have nothing left to do. They could just randomly mess with us. I guess I could try to meddle with engineers, but I think that they're going to be fine, even if I do that, so. I really want Nomads to sandblast d5 here. They can do it and they should do it, but I'm not convinced that they will do it. Oh wait, sorry, no, cultists are already connected. Yeah, I wanted them to sandblast b3 before, but oh well. Cultists really competitive with network, with nomads and engineers. They have all the hexes that they need. 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes. But that still puts them at 3 structures. Like that actually doesn't beat nomads or engineers. I think that they were better off fighting for a town rather than for this connection. Oh, nomads will get another town. So that's nice. Yeah, they'll have a TP. But they might need fire too, which is a bummer. They just won't have a lot of stuff left after they hard dig this guy, right? They're gonna have to hard dig E2. So then I don't think they can go hard dig, temple, TP, temple, TP. Maybe they can. Maybe they have just enough stuff to do that. What's left in this game? I think I wanted to close my earth cult. Or close my water cult, rather. Guess I could save it for 3 ship advances, but this is important. Okay, over here. Alright. It's our turn here. Oh, the 8-pointer is helpful, right? The 8-pointer lets us save on some priests. Yeah. All right. Maybe this game still ends with 2 dig advances then. Maybe I just let cultists win on water. What would I need here? I would need water 3, priest to water. So if I use 2 priests for water 3, priest to water, or air and water, right? So water 3, priest. Then I get 20-ish points on the cults. Nomads probably try to beat me here on the earth cult. It's probably worth it, right? Cultists have no other keys coming in. So, yeah. And then my last resources are for, yeah, that's probably the way to go. The 6 point, oh wait, I don't have another TP. I can't make a manual TP. No, I can make one, but I don't have the neighbor for it. That's some hilarious irony right there. I specifically put this TP up here because I didn't want to give leech to engineers, but ironically, now I might be making a manual TP over here to save on cost. The other thing I can do is I could just close air and then advance digs twice. It's probably a little bit better in terms of points, given that I4 is hanging out here. What would this look like? It would look like 6 resources for this. Then I'd have 3 and 5. I would get 1, 2, like, I would get my resources back by closing these cults, and then I would get 6 points for the TP. So it would be 6 points plus 4 points for closing water. That's 10 points. If I just advance digs twice, that's probably better. The question is, am I really competitive with cultists? The answer there is unclear. The only thing that's clear is that we're going to always want to close the air cults. So that is a must do. All right. Now I can think a little bit about the rest. There's a small chance, I suppose, that engineers come up with the water cult. So closing water and taking the points away from cultists might be important in that sense. Let's see. Cultists are looking at more cult points than I am. That's unfortunate. Again, I think that other people are way, way too eager to take cultist leech. Maybe engineers are doing well enough that they don't have to care about it. Yeah, so that would be priest to water, water 3. Let's do the math one last time. Yeah, I would have enough stuff to make a TP at the end of it. Why are we not beating cultists? Cultists are second on network. I don't know. I mean, cultists seem like they have a lot of points, right? They're going to get 6 more points for their next TP. They haven't beaten endgame points. I don't see how I am beating cultists. Regardless, it would have to be like a 2 victory point situation for it to be good, right? To go after cultists here. Like advancing digs twice is just 12 straight up points. Going up this track is 10 points, and it uses up all my resources. I think I end up with a resource point left over if I just advance digs as well. But, you know what, chickens? I'm gonna, like, if it's only 2 points worse, if the downside is only like 2, maybe 3 points, I'm already losing to engineers. We might as well just fight, right? The priest slot is more important. Water 2 or Water 3 both do the job here. The early pass for engineers might have won them the game. I also made some imprecisions around digs here. I think I was supposed to buy the workers before I did anything else there, and then place my landscape with my dig. Because I wasted 2 cult spades. I was planning to put the dwelling, but then it was wrong what I did. Rehashing everything might take a little too long, but I think that I made a mistake there. 11-point town goes to nomads, good for them. Maybe I should just drop this priest on the earth track while I still can. Nomads look like they have little else to do now. I mean, they should probably make a TP and a dwelling, I guess, is their best move. But I can't guarantee that that's what they'll do. So this priest to earth can't be that bad, right? Now that I've committed to, yeah. Now that I've committed to just taking the earth track, or the water track rather, it can't be that bad to just gain a little purchase here on the earth track as well. To not make those mistakes would have involved math. It's not worth it. No, it's not math, right? Like, I should have known to drop the landscape on with all those digs. I don't know. You're right. It wasn't worth it, but I think that I was supposed to pass onto the TP tile earlier. I don't know, because I guess I wound up on the TP tile again anyway. So it was just really inefficient the way that things broke for me. But I might not have gotten the 9 points. Like, I might not have gotten past tile this round if I had passed for the TP tile that round. So that's all fair. So yeah, I think that I see 6, 8. Cultists are going to get 130 when they pass, and then they're going to get 20 cult points, 150, and they'll be third on network. I hope that nomads are beating them in network. They should be able to go TP advanced ship H1, I think. I will let them have that. So 159, and then we're going to be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus 4 from air ones, that's 12, plus 6 is 18, 133. Yeah, I mean, we're not beating cultists. We're also at 20 cult points. So yeah, we're not beating cultists. We're in third place this game. We're locked in. I had to waste those digs to get the TP tile. Yeah. What I could have done this round instead, like if I had actually built like an economy last round, then I could have gone like temples and TPs this round, and maybe I could have gotten dig advances going. But there's no way I was beating cultists anyway. So it looks like maybe if I had put the TP over here and gotten like a couple of like 2-point things to go my way correctly, everything would have been fine. But I think everyone taking all this lead from cultists meant that I couldn't really win. This was a mistake. Losing the fire track was a mistake. That was just like a straight up 8-point swing against cultists that I'm getting that back here, but it cost me so much to do this because it cost me my dig advances. It was always complicated, yeah. It was definitely always complicated. I feel like I just did the math and I'm not beating cultists. I'm not sure where we're getting this from. Cultists have 130, right? They're passing at 130. Then they have 20, that's 150. Then they have, assuming that nomads beat them, then they have 6 network. So they're at 156, right? Cultists don't have air 1. So they're at 156 this game, right? Assuming that nomads do beat them on network. How do I have 156? I think I'm passing and I'm at 1. Oh, wait. Am I beating 156? 121, 133. This is 153, right? 155? I think I'm 1 short on cultists. Because, and that's because this is a manual TP, by the way. I don't know if you realize, but this is supposed to be a manual TP, and it's an expensive one. So, I am half a leech short of tying cultists, I believe, because I'm using up all my resources to build an expensive TP. Yeah, I'm 1 short. I'm 1 point short on cultists. And if I got 1 free leech, that would have been enough, but I didn't get that free leech in time. Which means that my mistake, like this, that means that this was a deadly mistake to not go up this cult. Oh wait, yeah, yeah. So it was a fatal mistake not to close the fire too. That's yeah, it was the right play to fight them on water, but ultimately I lost the game because I didn't close the fire cult. I think I lost the game because I didn't put my first TP here, so therefore I lost out on a point, like 3 points of water. One I lost because I put my temple over here. I put my first TP over here instead of over here, and then like the inefficiency of having to win water instead of fire was massive as well. So those 2 plays lost me the game, like very very clearly. Um, I mean, they cost me second, right? I was never beating engineers. Engineers is insanity for them. They're passing for 4. They have a resource point. They're winning network outright. So 145, 146, 164, 172, 176. Yeah. Oh well. I was due for a bad arena game. I think I've won almost every arena game that I've played this season. So I was due for a bad one. I think Cultists got a little lucky, a little unlucky. Um, I made some huge mistakes, and just no one interfered with engineers all game. Maybe I was supposed to just start H4 and like fight engineers for these hexes here. Interesting finish, good to learn from. Yeah, I agree. It's like maybe being friends with nomads wasn't such a bad idea. This cultist F7 placement wound up being good. Again, I had a chance to place A11 to try to mess with cultists. That might have been better than placing over here. It was the same number of digs, and single digs were more useful. I also made a gigantic mistake by down converting in the middle of the game. I down converted when I had 6 power, just out of instinct. Like I was even talking about like how I could still get the double spade. Then I sent a priest off and I down converted instead of keeping 6 power. So I threw away 3 workers for this. So yeah, I had a lot of like mistakes this game. It was a very very sloppy game. So I don't really deserve to win. Oh well, I'm disappointed with how I played, but it happens. It's like that's just the game, right? Like this was supposed to be the double spade on H3 was such an inefficient move that it almost certainly like single-handedly cost me the game versus cultists. Um, with engineers, I think that they might have been out of reach no matter what, but oh well. It's a rough hit. This is also a rough hit. Um, Wound up being like a pretty decently paced game, not like the fastest game, but most people played around my speed. I was a little slower. Um, we didn't hit the track particularly well, and this was even with that. So again, like the late TP is huge for engineers here. Um, Obviously, getting all the scoring favors is good for engineers. Cultist getting Water 1 was fairly lucky, I think. Nomads going for the Stronghold was not necessarily predictable. Uh, like Cultist having to settle for Air 1 would have been a lot worse. Um, and Cultist made some inefficiencies in the middle of the game that like really almost let me catch up with them. I missed out on 3 points here, which was bad. I could have gone for an early, like I went for some track points instead of for some more Air 1 points and priests, which was bad. Yeah, like 3 points of Water 1 I just straight up threw away. That was really terrible. I did what I could with the bonus cards, including like some very inefficient moves. In the end, like the inefficiencies with regards to like the fire track versus the water track really cost me here. This was one of the worst areas of my game. My game is at least like 6 points or so better with the exchange track. It's probably like at least like 3 points better if I take the double dig instead of the single dig like I wanted. I think someone else took the double dig that round, possibly, which was, yeah, 4 double digs were taken this game, so it's possible someone else even took that double dig. Um, yeah, it was not good. It was not good. This is not how it's supposed to go. And then like I did wind up taking some leeches, which like those late leeches were correct to take, so I don't really regret that. Um, yeah, all sorts of stuff, right? Like nomads taking that coins action really caught me off guard when I had the spade that round. That didn't wind up being too bad, but yeah, not a great game. Um, we'll try to play better in the future. Uh, Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for chatting. It was a bit of a disappointing game, but it happens. And these players are very strong. You're not going to win every game, even if you do play perfect. It's just too bad that I left so many points on the table. Yeah, I think that's about it. See y'all.